with that is how it feels in your hand, right? If it's sticky, if it's slimy, if it's green, then you know you're in trouble, right? Somebody grab me some paper towel, please.
Okay.
Right, now. Awesome.
And here's the next.
Okay, so here's the deal with the rack of lamb, right? It is probably the least most profitable piece of meat you're ever going to sell. It's expensive, it takes a lot to fabricate, and people don't understand why they're getting such a small portion even though they order. Okay, so we're looking at 3, 3, and 2, okay? We're never going to do 4 and 4 because it's too big, right? So in this case, I'm going to figure out how I'm going to cut it, because the thing is you've got to understand that the bones are in your head. What matters is how much meat you're going to give the person, right? So you can't fixate on with 3 bones, 3 bones, and 2 bones. You've got to fixate on where I'm going to cut this, okay? Now, this is what I usually do. I cut up to this bone here, right, nice and close, because I'm going to give them that piece of meat. And then down here, I cut over to here, and then they get 2 bones, but they get the same amount of meat, and then the last one gets 3. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because as your fillet is going down, it's getting smaller. So if you look at the eye up here, you look at the eye up here, it's not the same size, okay? So you've got to make sure that you give them, sorry, I'm going to cut the other way. You've got to give them the most amount of meat. So, 3, 2, 3. So I'm going to go on this bone here.
So you start backwards.
Yeah. So you cut down along the bone. And off to the side on this one. They're all going to be different. They're not going to be the same. And then we should have, see that they're all the same width? Okay, now the fabrication part comes. You want to leave a little bit of fat cap on this, and you're going to cut off some of this. Okay, so I cut down here. Has anybody got a nice sharp boning knife? And thank you. Could somebody grab me a piece of aluminum foil?
Foil.
Anybody not like the sound of scraping bones? Awesome. Right, so I put my meat like that, cut in. You want to get all that junk off, okay?
In your restaurant, if someone were to get 3 pieces of lamb or one would get 2, and one would say, why did that person get 3? Would you just tell them it's because of the weight?
No, well, we sell it by weight, not by size. So usually on a piece of lamb, you're looking for about a 7-ounce piece, but you're only going to get maybe 4 or 5 ounces of meat. And then there's Colorado lamb, which this is, I believe, and then there's New Zealand. New Zealand tends to be smaller but sweeter. The bones are much smaller. Colorado tends to be bigger, but it's fatter. You think you're getting more meat, but you're actually just getting a bigger piece of fat, in my opinion. Okay, that's what it should look like.
Clean as it was.
Then I usually dip those bones into a little bit of boiling water just to get all the final residue off. And then, now, you see what he's done over here? He's broken the cardinal rule of seasoning. Okay, if you season up your meat today, what do you think is going to happen to it?
It's gonna fry.
Salt dries everything out. So you're going to let that sit overnight. It's going to extract all that moisture. When he comes in tomorrow, he's going to have a huge pool of juice at the bottom of that tray. Okay, now that protects the bones, okay? So that when they come out, they're not all burnt. All right? And that's what your rack of lamb should look like. That's proper French. Now, you could keep all this and you could make a stock out of it, right? So that you could serve it with the sauce. Because I know your recipe didn't say anything about a sauce, but I know you guys are already smart enough to have thought that out and said, ooh, it doesn't say sauce on this, but I know I've got to make one, right?
Yes, chef.
Now, you want to try and leave a little bit of fat cap on the outside because it'll protect the meat. You usually have a little bit of sinew along the front end. And then the same thing, you want to cut down to about there, make the bones longer and more elegant, and then trim that fat out. Watch your fingers. You always get with a rack of lamb, fingers a little bit harder to come by. And then you're going to repeat the process. Okay?
Okay.
Two, and then your last one.